The crystal glasses froze in midair. The laughter that had filled the grand ballroom disappeared in a heartbeat. Every wealthy guest turned toward the lone waiter standing beside a table draped in white linen. His hands trembled, not from fear but from years of swallowing humiliation. Then, with tears burning behind determined eyes, he looked straight at the billionaire who had mocked him in front of everyone and uttered words that would change every life in that room forever. "Mock me again, I dare you." Silence fell so heavily that even the orchestra stopped playing. Before we continue, if you believe kindness is stronger than cruelty and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Heartline Stories. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to life. The waiter was named Malik Harper, a 36-year-old single father whose greatest treasure was his 8-year-old daughter, Ariel. Every morning before sunrise, Malik prepared breakfast, braided Ariel's hair as best as he could despite never having learned properly, packed her school lunch, and kissed her forehead before rushing to his first shift. His wife had passed away years earlier after a sudden illness, leaving him with overwhelming grief and endless responsibilities. There were days when he barely slept 4 hours, working 2 restaurant jobs just to keep a tiny apartment and make sure Ariel never went to bed hungry. He wore a tired smile every day because he refused to let his daughter see how heavy life had become. One bright afternoon, the city's most luxurious hotel prepared for an extravagant charity gala hosted by billionaire businesswoman Victoria Ashcroft. Politicians, celebrities, investors, and social elites gathered beneath glittering chandeliers. Every chair, every flower arrangement, and every polished spoon reflected unimaginable wealth. Malik had been assigned to the VIP dining hall because of his professionalism. His manager trusted him completely, knowing he never complained, never argued, and always treated every guest with respect regardless of how they behaved. As the evening unfolded, expensive laughter echoed through the ballroom while Malik quietly served meals with practiced precision. Yet not everyone appreciated his dedication. Victoria, known for her sharp tongue and obsession with appearances, noticed the slightly worn shoes beneath Malik's spotless uniform. Surrounded by influential guests eager to impress her, she made a cruel remark loud enough for nearby tables to hear. She joked that perhaps charity should begin by buying proper shoes for the waiter. The room erupted with uncomfortable laughter. Some guests looked away in embarrassment, while others joined in, unwilling to challenge the billionaire whose approval they desperately sought. Malik lowered his eyes for only a second. He had endured insults before. Customers had mocked his skin color, his profession, and even his quiet nature. But tonight was different. He remembered Ariel asking that morning why people sometimes laughed at others instead of helping them. He had promised her that dignity was something no one could take away unless you surrendered it yourself. Instead of walking away, Malik slowly stood upright. His voice remained calm, but every word carried years of pain, sacrifice, and courage. He looked directly at Victoria and said, "Mock me again. I dare you." His voice was steady enough to silence every conversation in the ballroom. He explained that those worn shoes had carried him through thousands of exhausting shifts, countless sleepless nights, hospital visits with his late wife, and every parent-teacher meeting he had attended alone. Those shoes represented love, sacrifice, and survival, not failure. The billionaire's confident smile slowly disappeared. For the first time that evening, the glamorous audience truly looked at the man standing before them. They no longer saw a waiter. They saw a father who had sacrificed everything for his child. Several guests quietly lowered their heads, ashamed of their own laughter only moments before. Among the audience sat an elderly philanthropist named Graham Whitmore, who had quietly observed the entire exchange. He approached Malik after the room settled and asked about his life. Malik answered honestly, speaking not with bitterness but with gratitude for every opportunity he had received. He admitted that although life had been unimaginably difficult, every struggle was worth it whenever Ariel smiled. Unknown to Malik, Graham was searching for someone to lead a new community initiative focused on helping struggling single parents find stable employment. The project required compassion, integrity, and genuine leadership rather than business experience. That evening, Graham saw qualities no resume could ever reveal. Meanwhile, Victoria remained unusually silent. Long after the guests returned to their conversations, she could not forget the expression in Malik's eyes. She remembered her own father, who had once worked endless hours to give her a better future before wealth changed everything around them. Somewhere along her journey to success, she had forgotten the value of humility. The following week, Malik received an unexpected invitation to Graham's office. Assuming there had been some misunderstanding, he arrived wearing his best suit, carefully pressed despite its age. Graham greeted him warmly and offered him the opportunity to become director of the new foundation's employment outreach program. The position paid more than both of Malik's restaurant jobs combined and included health insurance, flexible hours, and educational support for Ariel. Malik struggled to believe it was real. Tears filled his eyes as he realized he would finally have evenings free to help his daughter with homework instead of rushing to another shift. For the first time in years, hope felt stronger than exhaustion. News of Malik's story quietly spread throughout the city. Many people were inspired not because he had confronted a billionaire, but because he had defended his dignity without hatred. Schools invited him to speak about resilience. Community organizations asked him to mentor young fathers. His story reminded countless people that strength often wears an apron instead of a designer suit. Several months later, Victoria attended the opening ceremony of Graham's foundation. She walked through the doors without cameras or reporters. Standing before Malik, she sincerely apologized for the humiliation she had caused. She admitted that success had blinded her to the humanity of those serving around her every day. Malik accepted her apology, not because the pain had disappeared, but because forgiveness freed his own heart from carrying resentment into the future. That evening, Ariel proudly watched her father deliver the opening speech. She smiled as he explained that true wealth was never measured by expensive clothes, luxury cars, or powerful titles. Real wealth was measured by compassion, integrity, and the courage to stand tall even when the world expected you to bow your head. Years later, many people forgot the extravagant gala, the expensive decorations, and even the billionaire's fortune. But they never forgot the quiet waiter whose simple words transformed an entire room. His courage reminded everyone that respect cannot be purchased, dignity cannot be stolen, and kindness remains the greatest legacy any person can leave behind. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your family and friends, leave a comment telling us what part moved you the most, and subscribe to Heartline Stories for more inspiring journeys of hope, courage, and redemption. Glowing star special request: comment below with the words, "Kindness always wins," if you believe every person deserves respect, no matter their job or background. Sometimes the strongest people are not the ones standing on stage beneath the brightest lights. They are the quiet souls serving others with tired hands, carrying invisible burdens, and choosing kindness over bitterness every single day. And every once in a while, when courage finally finds its voice, even the richest and most powerful people are left with nothing to say.